We're tired of the police brutality. We're tired of the violence. Unnecessary people are being hurt, murdered, and we're not happy. So now we're going to start taking the streets. We're taking back what's ours. We are, just as their people, we're people. But our kids, our brothers, our sisters, our family members are dying in the streets.
So that from New York last night. Team Fox coverage this morning. Julie Banderas is on that story here in New York City. And Peter Doocy is live at City Hall in Baltimore. And that's where we start with you, Peter. And good morning there. This report in the Washington Post, how detailed is it, Peter?
Bill, it's very detailed, but it's coming from someone who could hear and not see Freddie Gray for his last ride alive inside that Baltimore PD van. This unnamed prisoner told authorities, though, that he believes Gray was intentionally trying to injure himself by slamming his body into the hardened side of that police vehicle. But there's a metal partition that was separating the two men inside this van, so the new account is limited to sound only. All this new information was unearthed by the Washington Post. They reviewed an application for a search warrant, but the Gray family attorneys are pushing back already. They say they don't think Freddie severed his own spine, and they don't think these police reports are accurate. So we asked law enforcement officers with experience transporting prisoners if it's possible for someone to inflict such a catastrophic injury on themselves in such a confined space. And we were told that sometimes bad things do happen.
We've had them strike their head many times on in-car cameras, mobile data terminals, shotgun racks, rifle racks. There are many, many things in the cockpit of a police car. And when you're transporting a prisoner, we normally transport our prisoners in the front seat. We don't have cages in our cruisers. We oftentimes transport them in the front seats. And we've actually had them split their heads wide open on the side window, on the B-pillar, or on equipment in the car. It happens.
And Freddie Gray's death inspired the protests that turned into riots. But now about half the 200 people who were arrested Monday night have been released because paperwork was complicated and so was figuring out who arrested who. So now we wait to see how these newly released rioters respond to this report.
Well, also that police report now into Gray's death is said to be delivered tomorrow, which is Friday. There are reports it will not be made public tomorrow. What are you hearing about that, Peter?
We had been hearing that we were going to get some more information, and everybody in Baltimore had kind of been holding their breath to see how the anxious crowds would react, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen anymore. The police department says they're just going to turn everything that they have found, everything that they've discovered, over to state prosecutors who will then decide what to release and also what to do about the 6 officers who are involved in this case.
By turning these documents, our findings, over to the state's attorney's office as quickly as we can, we are being accountable to them so that we can be accountable to the public.
Here in Baltimore, the National Guard has had success keeping the peace during 2 consecutive nights of curfews. There are supposed to be 5 more evenings where everything shuts down, but now the mayor says she is open to ending the curfew sooner if people behave themselves. And the reason, Bill, is that local businesses are really hurting by having to shut everything down by 10 o'clock.
Well, I bet they are. All right, Peter, thank you. Peter Doocy leading our coverage there today in Baltimore at City Hall. Martha.